Welcome back to another Gwent video, and it's been a little while since I've gotten a chance to sit down, record, and finally I do, and we're gonna do 100 keg opening of the Way of the Witcher. Now, I do have some other kegs here. This has just been from all the times of completing arena runs, from back in the arena now, and just from unlocks and of the sorts that I just never got around to opening since. Never really had no reason to, so we'll just leave these here for now and maybe one day open those. But what we really want to get into is the Way of the Witcher kegs. Man, this is really exciting stuff. The cards just look phenomenal. The mechanic of adrenaline is just incredibly exciting. I'm gonna go check out the draft notes that are coming out soon, and I might be doing a video on that shortly. But for now, this is what I want to get into. And also, since I never got a chance to do a card review, when we open up these cards, I'll go through some of them that I really like, some things I really want to try and do, and and in terms of arena, I'm not sure what's in there just yet, but whatever they put in, I know it's going to make it just a ton more exciting, just a ton more variety as well. So it's a whole bunch of excitement all around the air. Let's just jump into these kegs already. Why am I rambling? Alright, so Northern Realms, 2 Scoia'tale, and neutral monsters. I'm gonna take this first one slow. You know, it's gonna take about 10, 15, 20 kicks before I get bored of this and we just start machine gunning these down. First card, Griffin Witcher Ranger. Really like this card. This right here has some really cool implications that I want to try and do with the Northern Realms Legendary, which I'm sure we'll get to in time. Cat Witcher Adept. Just also, these cards are, I think, Making a Bomb. A great card. I mean, we've all seen it, pretty standard. But what I just want to say, let's just get these opened up quickly. Whenever you consume a unit, one of my units boosts up by 1 hybrid. Just really cool, especially when you consume cards that monsters got. You could put this down in 1 turn, and on the following turn you could get this to instantly become +7, and then just with some of the new combos, this could be just an insane 4 provision card, because you do not have to play it right away. You could play it 3-4 rounds in, when you set up some other cards and really get this exploding. And ooh, for my first gold epic, so the Werecat is really cool, and this is one of the synergies that it has right here that is phenomenal. So this is almost awesome cards. I'm gonna get all the cards at the end, but as my first pick, I'm gonna go Nilfgaard. I just love what Nilfgaard is doing here, and what's happening with the deck shuffling. It's just incredible. All right, ooh, animated succubus. Let's bring that up. That is gorgeous. All right, so Deathwish. This is also really cool. It's just the way, if you get this right, and if you can maybe copy one of these, and maybe with something like an operator, at 4 cards and down, this could really pop off and become a really powerful engine, a 4-point per turn engine. So I really like this card. I really like that I got a premium. Don't play monsters. That's really cool. Witcher Adept, really nice. The copy mechanic, we already know you. Core weapons. Now here's one of my first cards that I'm really falling in love with in terms of Nilfgaard. Damage unit by 5, banish it, and put a copy of it on top of the opponent's deck. That's gonna create trouble. Here, we'll pick the Salamander Abomination just because this is the coolest art here. You want that in premium. Alright, let's get into it. Stolen Mutagens. This is insane. This card is genuinely insane. With some of the other things that Syndicate has gotten, this I love it. This the fact that you get 3 options and they're mutagens. And I love the design. I love everything about this card. I want to see the premium version of that. Oof. The Bewitcher Quartermaster, damage an allied unit by 1, then spawn a Witcher student on this row, charges 2. This is really good. This is insane. With some of the self-wound mechanics that Scoia'tale has, I think this is incredible. I love it. Griffin Witcher. Now here is a very interesting card. This is also one of my favorite bronzes. Just because if you play this and give it Veil at the end of when you're down to 4 cards, this becomes a permanent ability for the rest of the game. And if this has been happening already beforehand, this little boy can get up to 16 points in value, plus the 4 that it is. So in the ideal situation, you can get 20 points, maybe even a little bit more, with the Witcher added, with this Griffin Witcher. So that's really cool. The evolution, I'm not gonna try that right now, but the spontaneous evolution is boosted unit by 4 and gain additional effect based on the character. Oh yes, I saw this one, and flames monsters, flames. But you've needed some love. I mean, let's get the Bear Witcher. Let's get that beautiful Bear Witcher. Still not getting any gold. I love this card as well. Or some of the other synergies that come with self-wounding and the witches. I really love this card. This is incredibly powerful. Viper Witcher Alchemist, one of my favorite cards I've seen come out again. Once Northgard, just killing it here. The art, everything about this is just phenomenal. Can't wait to do something with this. Alright. Okay, now we're starting to get some duplicates. Ooh, nice Bear Witcher Mentor Premium. Thank you very much. I'm gonna just let me just pick up a second one right now. Get another War at the Old Sea. Very unfortunate that we got a copy randomly, but there's a lot more gold I want to see right now. Alright. Ooh. Cohen. This might be this card right here. This card right here. I want to do something with this card. There's something I want to do with this card, and it's just, this card is beautiful. You are a beautiful man. Let's grab that. Cohen, I think, is really powerful. I think that if you can really get him to stick on the board, really, just for a little bit, or even if you're doing it as one of the last plays, but I think sometimes you might need to stick on the board just for a little bit. But there is the situation where I think, what am I doing? I already have all these. There's a situation where I think Cohen could be one of the coolest things that is ever happening. Like, it's, yeah, which levels? Let's pick up 2 of these. I love this little dude, so why not? Nothing new. Nothing new. Oh, but a nice premium right here. Let's grab that. Oh, well, thank you for copying cards. This is the second time we've gotten a gold duplicate. A little unlucky, I would say. Okay. No premiums there, so let's just move on. Alright, and let's take a look at some of these other new interesting cards. Roland is really cool. Roland is such start the round kind of play that at the end he does become very you know, this is a very negative adrenaline, or it's meant to be. But with some of the new introductions that Syndicate has made in terms of poison and poison self, I don't see this being a downside no matter when you play it. I think that you can get away with playing this Adrenaline 5, or I think you can play this before that. And I think because of that, this is going to be a really, really powerful card. It's going to generate coins really quickly, and Syndicate have some really nice spenders to turn the tide of battle in an instant. So I like this card. Syndicate is really not my faction, so I won't get to play it too much, but I really want to see some cool things come out of this. Griffin is amazing. Move an allied unit from this row to the other row, damage a random enemy unit for 1 each card moved by 1. Did I just read that like this? Was I being dyslexic there for a second? Because I think I got that on remove the other cards from this row to the other row. Damage a random enemy unit for each card moved by 1. I don't know how to feel about this. What I really don't like is the fact that it's random. I think this card would have been incredible if it had something like an adrenaline trigger. Let's say you gave it adrenaline 2, and at adrenaline 2 or adrenaline 3 it reads something along the lines of, you have this text as is, and then at adrenaline 3, but instead of saying random, it can be targeted. So we have damage an enemy unit for each card moved by 1. You remove that, and then adrenaline 3 you can make it random, or adrenaline 4 you can make it random. I think this card would have been a great adrenaline card. I think they missed an opportunity here just to make this a little bit better, but yeah, it's just a little weak. Because if, let's say, you had this at adrenaline 3 and you could target before adrenaline 3, then you could hit this, play this down, maybe move, let's say 5-6 units. It's been a good round to you. Oh, it's in that situation. 6 units move, you target, use them for 6. Those 6 units that moved, in 2 turns, Great Oak comes down and it just, you know, finish something else off. And I think that this card really misses adrenaline, and it's a real shame. Anyway, I got a little caught up here. Leo, I'm gonna pick him up because he's animated. He's not the best or the greatest switcher around, but he'll be fine for now. You gotta get those animated cards right. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that, just because I was thinking, yeah, they really did miss an opportunity with not giving that adrenaline. I think it would have made it one of the best Syndicate Scoia'tale cards out there, and it would have been really fun to play. The fact that it's random, it takes away, you know, when you take away control from a player in Gwent, it doesn't always feel right. You know, some cards get it right. Some of the create cards and like Aguera True Form, they get it right. But in this situation where when you're throwing damage out and you take damage away from, or you take damage control of damage away from the player, it becomes substantially weaker and doesn't feel right in Gwent. So I think, yeah, adrenaline would have been great there. Still nothing. Okay, we got something new here. Why put your mentor set the power of a card to match Persian cost of the top card in your opponent's deck? This card is, I remember reading this, now I didn't pay much attention to it, but now I'm just looking at it again. This card is pretty insane. These, you can have 2 of these at the end of round 3 just to play them, and in most cases you could even do them much sooner, because you can set up that a very high provision cost card is on top of unit's deck just by giving something bleeding or hitting and banishing it. So this card is insane. Nilfgaard for the win. Though I will say monsters are also looking good, and Scoia'tale look very interesting. Ooh, servers. Ooh, let's pray. Don't you let me down now, server. There we go. Alright, so now we got, once again, I'm sorry, Getian, but Yeah, that adrenaline, you missed it. And then your buddy over here has adrenaline and it didn't miss it. Spawn a defending siren on the opposite row and damage all units on that row by 1. Adrenaline 4, damage the siren instead. Awesome card. I love the adrenaline. It really does make this card such a great situational card and brings the skill ceiling of Gwent, I think, another notch up. I think adrenaline has really just introduced more complexity to the game that is already pretty complex at times, and just raised the bar. And I think what that's going to create is a difficult barrier to entry for new players, because as this game is becoming more complex, it becomes very difficult for new players to really get into it because like it's overwhelming. But at the same time, I think it brings just a new level to Gwent that it needs, in terms of strategy, in terms of how you play the game, in terms of, you know, just really thinking about the, you know, the complexity of each situation that you might be facing. And I think it's good for the game because things like this usually ensure that the best players always win. It's that simple. It's like being, you know, a grandmaster in chess. Or being, you know, on that level. No, I'm not comparing the two, by the way. I'm just saying it's like if I had to like say, you know, you get people that are going to be on that level, and you get everybody else who just plays chess regularly, and like, oh, we're okay, but anyway, that's what I'm just getting a little caught up. But I think this is fantastic, and I love this card. It's really got a lot going for it. And then finally, Maxi Vendecker. Look at your deck in the order from top to bottom. I don't understand why they give you this option, because oh, you may shuffle your deck. I didn't read the may. Then put a card on the bottom of it. This is an insane card. I think this is a great round 2 pass card. I think this is just an incredible card, especially in a round 2 situation. You could play this, you'll see what's in your deck. You can be like, okay, well, I know what I'm drawing and I know what I'm mulliganing into, more importantly. So you know exactly what your mulligans are going to be, because you can count the next 3 cards after that. Alternatively, if you don't like that, you can shuffle the deck, put one of the worst cards at the bottom, and boom, this is consistency king. This card in a round 2 situation, I think, is incredibly powerful. And I think in round 1 situation, if you're going second and you are going to lose, this is also going to be just incredible. To be able to know for the next 2 rounds the exact order of your deck gives you so much control over where it's gonna go. And if you don't like it and you know the deck looks bad, to get the ability to reshuffle it is just incredible. It's like basically it's like you're looking at your deck, you're saying, oh, I can see the future. The future looks great, I'm gonna leave it as it is. Or the future doesn't look so great, I'm gonna mix it up and see what happens. So we'll pick it up because it is just such a good, cool card. I mean, incredible, right? If you think about it that way, it's just incredible. Alright, nothing new to talk about here. So yeah, so this is my first time recording probably like a week, 2 weeks, not week and a half or 2 weeks. It's been a while, and if you saw the last few videos, it didn't even have thumbnails. Okay, we just gonna pick up what we don't have. And the other thing is, I was just being so busy. I just completed a move and getting everything set up and just getting back into it has been, you know, it's been difficult, but we're here now, and I'm really happy to be here. Really happy to just be talking into the void of a microphone. Can you hear me? No. Oh. Excuse me. We're only 25% of the way through. Can we please get back into it? Shoot. Though, thank you for just lining up with my joke there. As if the game was like, here's the void. Alright, so we got something new again. Buddy. Like, you're so low on my priority list just because of... Anyway. You don't... I think it... Yond, I don't know. I believe in destroy an damaged enemy unit. Incredible card. Nothing needs to be said about it. It gets the job done. in Skellige, it's basically in Skellige, it's like a Vincent from Nilfgaard. This bad boy, and coming out at 6 power, you're always going to destroy something that's more than 3, so this is going to be insane. And then Geralt, hope I said that right. Profit 2, fee, poison allied unit, and boosted by 2, cooldown 1. This is really good. On the surface it doesn't look that great, but in reality, when you have all the Syndicate cards put together, this is really good. There's some really cool combos you can get away with, and Syndicate having probably one of the best defenders in the game with the 2 little scarabs that are so annoying to remove. You want to just you can really get this to work. I think this could be really consistent, and I look forward to see what happens. I don't can't play a Syndicate. I'm really bad at it. It's a lot of economy management that I haven't been good at, so unfortunately not my cup of tea, but I can't wait to see what we line up into. Okay, anything new? Nothing. Now we can speed up a little bit. So all I'm looking for now is premiums, and then stuff that anything like some of the gold, some of the really cool, exciting stuff from this expansion that I could talk about. I love it. Look at it, we're so confused. He's like, what is this? I don't, you know, it smells. Yep, I'm gonna give this to somebody and see what happens. It's fantastic. Let's go on here. Ooh, 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 wow. It's like they're opening up a tomb. It's opening up a tomb. Alright, so here we got some new things. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. I want to talk about Keldar. Spawn a Witcher student on this row. Adrenaline 4 at the end of sorry, at the end of your turn, spawn a Witcher student on this row. This is basically when you're down 5 cards. This is for lack of a better way of comparing it, as a standalone card, it is a free ship. It is basically a free freight ship that you can play when you're down to 5, and it'll just produce, and then you can use those Witcher students to do some really cool things in Northern Realms. But this is pretty cool. I really like this card, especially with some of the other cards inside Northern Realms and what they can do. So I might try to build something around this. And then Brehan, destroy the rightmost unit on the enemy row with at least 5 units. Adrenaline, destroy the rightmost unit on the enemy row with 3 units instead. This is not going to be very difficult to accomplish. Whenever you move a unit, it goes to the rightmost side of the board. The problem is you can move a unit, and then your opponent can play around it by playing something to the right of it, and then you can move a unit. Alternatively, you might need something like a Marianne, I think, who just triggers every turn, so you can move a unit and then destroy it. So I don't think it's going to be very difficult to trigger for Scoia'tale, and especially because of all the movement that they've gotten, they could fill up a row very quickly and dedicate what card goes where. So this is pretty cool. I'm gonna pick Keldar because in terms, ooh, look how beautiful that glows. Now we have some really cool things. These are some of the most exciting cards I have seen in Gwent ever, period. Location? What's a location? I didn't know they had GPS in Gwent. When you put a waypoint down, that's all Google Maps. You don't know it, it's just all Google Maps. Anyway, it's a stupid joke, right? Anyway, Viper, one of my favorite cards. That said Viper, at the end of the round, put this card in the opponent's graveyard, so it has to survive. Then from this point on, it actually reads from your opponent's side of the it reads from the individual who has the card in their graveyard. And what I mean by that is, if you play this and your opponent kills it, this is in your graveyard, so you're reading this. If this does not die, it goes into your opponent's graveyard, then the opponent is reading this. So whoever has it in their graveyard reads this next paragraph. At the end of your turn, while in the graveyard, banish the lowest cost card from it. So this starts banishing cards, and there are some really interesting things that Nilfgaard can do. That's not going to be very hard for this card to banish the entire graveyard. If the Viper is the only card in the graveyard, give it doomed, then summon it to your opponent's random row. And then it comes back, so if it's in your opponent's side of the graveyard, it comes to you. If it's in your graveyard, it goes to your opponent. So if your opponent kills this and then there's nothing in the graveyard, it will go to your opponent. Considering how easily Nilfgaard can purify a card, and considering some of the other mechanics that Nilfgaard have in terms of just graveyard management for the opponent, this card is insane and might just be one of the most broken cards in the game. You play this at the end of round 1. Your opponent has 5 units in the graveyard. If you win, you push until the opponent's graveyard is empty for this to jump back out, and Nilfgaard can now push really hard with this expansion. Even cards like Menno Bribery are gonna be insane because of some of the other cards that have come to expansion. None of the cards in the set need devotion. I was trying to first bring that up. There's no devotion mechanic here, which is a little disappointing, because devotion could use a little bit more love in the game. I think devotion is a really cool mechanic and it just needs a little more love, just like the singleton kind of mechanic, but that's for another time. And then you push. This comes out of the graveyard onto the battlefield. Boom, you have 7 free points. You pass the round, or maybe you can win it, so you win the game, or you pass the round. This goes back into your opponent's graveyard. You just once again manage the opponent's graveyard a little bit, do some shenanigans. This comes back out and brings another 7 points. And in a lot of scenarios, if you draw this card first, it will play for 21 points across three rounds. I genuinely believe that. And with the fact that Nilfgaard can purify so easily thanks to some of the mages that they have, in the scenario that I'm talking about, you will always be purifying the Viper. And purifying the Viper, by the way, makes the mage, I can't remember the name now for the love of me. Anyway, when you play that down onto this card, that is effectively an 11-point play, because you are now preserving 7 points for the next round. So it's not even a slow play. And if you have something like Menno Bribery, that can even become it's a simulate will trigger a few times. So this is just bonkers. It's the card I'm going to take, by the way. And then locations, new cards, really cool stuff because of how they work. They have an order and they have a deploy. You play it on deploy. I think all of them you get to choose to play a Griffin Witcher Adept, Griffin Witcher Mentor, or a Griffin Witcher Ranger, and you play one of those. Then it has resilience, so what you can do is you can either in this round or the following turn boost the unit in your deck by 3. So in this case, this isn't the best one out of some of the other locations that have come up, but this is really cool, and I'm sure we'll see some of the other ones. I hope we do. But there's some really cool mechanics to shoot monster stuff. This is really amazing. I love it. Anyway, also I'm talking about these cards as if anyone watching this doesn't know what they are already. I know you all know, but I'm excited. I never got a chance to do the review, so. And finally, this one, I think I missed this one. I saw it come up, but I never got to read the text. At the end of your turn, move south to the range row, and then it keeps bouncing, and then eventually drilling 3, it infects everybody. So it's either doing damage to the entire row or boosting an entire row. This is really fun. I love this card. I love this card because of the amount of movement that Scoia'tale have. You can fill up a row, he will then bounce onto the empty row. You fill that row up so he can't move, and then whichever row he's on with his range ability, he'll keep repeating that ability non-stop. So what you could do is lock it into the ranged row, and you can never get into the melee row. So for the rest of the game, for the last 3 turns, it will just keep swiping, for lack of a better word, the range row of the opponent. And I think that's really cool. So these are the cards. I really like them. I think there are some really cool things you can do and some really cool mechanics. What transaction? You do... No. Okay. Some really cool things you can do. And, it's just... Oh man, it's so exciting. Nothing new. Let's just grab that. Like, what has been... Like, I'm wondering, like, in terms of... You know, Sony right now, just opening things. I wonder what favorite card is, what your favorite open was, what your favorite animated is, and which you got. Because there's so much to it, and I want to see like all of these animated. Like the card art is, oh, that is gross. Oh, it's still beating. Yeah, like, what's your favorite animator of the set? Like, I think every set has that one animator card that's phenomenal. That's like just jaw-dropping, really gorgeous, and you know, it might not be the same for everyone. But like, of this set, what is it? Like, whoa. Which one do you like the most? Also, like I just wonder, because there's a lot of questions. Like, I'm just thinking about right now as I open this up. It's expansion is really exciting, brings a lot of new mechanics, and in terms of like cards and mechanics introductions, like what's the favorite faction now? What's really fun to play? What's wacky? What can you do that's like, you know, quirky and get away with? Ooh, nice. Not the best animated, but I still like that. I think it's, let me see, that witch sight when it turns red in the game as well. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, definitely grabbing that. I wonder, like, and also like in this expansion, is there anything that is there anything that, like, imagine like you're a Nilfgaardian player or a Scoia'tale player, and then this expansion comes out with all these witches and all these cool things, and you're like, you know what, now I'm a Skellige player now, because Skellige just got some really cool things. Like, I think it happened to me a little bit. That is gross. I think another, okay, Colgrim, another one. Adrenaline 2 at the end of your turn and boost health by the difference between between number of cards in players' decks. This card is going to be insane. You could do a hyper thin. This card is going to be insane. You can do a hyper thin version where you don't thin your entire deck, but you also put cards on top of your opponent's deck, so you keep stacking their deck. And in 2 turns, I think you can get this to be boosted to probably like somewhere around 30, maybe even more. I genuinely believe there is, if you take all the cards we've gotten in this set, with all the existing cards, and maybe like a Sienna somewhere here and there, you could make this one of like the most insane plays, something really funny. Okay. Alright, just more. Yeah, like, this being a syndicate player. So for me, it happened to me, like probably last expansion or like somewhere around. Because I didn't like monsters at all. Like, I used to like monsters when Gwent was, I think, pre-homecoming and stuff. And then when the Wild Hunt came into the game, I really liked monsters again. I really liked Wild Hunt. I really loved the mechanics the Wild Hunt brought, and that Eridan came. Like, you know, the whole Wild Hunt thing was really cool to me, and the way they played. That I actually stopped playing Northern Realms and Nilfgaard. Hell yeah. Northern Realms and Nilfgaard completely for a while, and just started playing monsters non-stop, because I was like, yeah, this is really cool now. So I was wondering, like, you know, does that, like, how often does that even happen? Man, oh, I think that's premium. There was no premium. It was a lie. Alright, we spoke about this. Idr. Order. Adrenaline 3. So, I believe this means the order can only be activated at Adrenaline 3. Consume all tokens on this row and get immunity. Whenever you consume one or more units, can spawn a drone on this row. You can quite easily now get a board of 7, let's just say 7 tokens. Play this. Unfortunately, you can't give it zeal, but at 7 points, it is a hefty boy, so it will survive. Or you could play this and then generate 7 tokens in a row, which is very doable with a few cards here and there now. Consume, boost this by 7, and spawn 7 more tokens on the row. And if you have any other consume effects, you can just consume some more and spawn more drones. It's insane. And then selective mutation. This card art is, I don't want to even see the premium of this. This is one of those creepy premiums. Draw a card with adrenaline of your choice, then shuffle back a card from your hand to your deck. Spawn a Witcher student on each allied row. This card is crazy. It's just insane. For 6, you are only getting, I think, 4 in. You're getting 4 in power. You're losing 2, but the 2 provisions that you lose. Adrenaline card of your choice. That's incredible. I just love the art. I don't want premium, but I think the art is really cool. So I think, yeah, that card is really gonna be insane. In terms of consistency, it's basically, I think that card, in terms of consistency, if you had to choose between playing an Uromancy or that card in any deck, I think that card could almost substitute for something like Uromancy. Ooh, nice. In a specific type of deck, you could substitute that for Uromancy, I think. It's just, I love that. Because of the power level of some of the adrenaline cards and the fact that you can now mulligan away really powerful adrenaline cards just to draw them later. Spawn 2 Witcher Adepts, which synergize quite well with some of the Northern Realms cards. So all in all, I think that card is genuinely nice. I like that. So yeah, that card I think is a little, you know, it might look like, oh, it's an okay card. I think it's pretty broken because of the consistency it can give you for the provision cost you're paying. And I understand that when I'm saying it can substitute for Uromancy, you get nice. You get the card, but you don't get to play it like you would in an Uromancy card, but you get the card in your hand. Wait. Maybe I misread it, but I'll just have to read it again. But I think the fact that you can just get, and you can draw any adrenaline card using that is, in terms of consistency, it's fantastic. Ooh, triangle within a triangle. This card is stupid. I'm just gonna say that. It's great, but it's stupid. Because I was thinking with this card, the boulder that does 8, I think, is the same thing. It's just better. You pay 1 less provision. So this card is just, it's funny. I like it though. Because you could use it in a weird way with like maybe like a Geralt or something stupid. A Mata would like this card. But I think overall this card is rather stupid. But a triangle with a okay, Gaten, if I pick you now, will you stop coming? Okay, look at me, look at me. Are we in agreement? He said we're in agreement. That me know how? You go wow, I go DC and now? Do you want to tell me what cow slurped on the cable lines and... Thank God that worked. I don't know where that rhyme was going. triangle within a triangle. This is, you know what, never trust, you know what they say, never trust a cat. So why do you trust somebody from the school of the cat? All the bad conversation to have, right? It's just the first, oh, what is this? It's Vi. Oh, this card is so cool. Shuffle Vi back into your deck and increases base power by 3. You have to consume it. It has to be a death wish trigger. It has to die. If it does not die, it's useless. But if it dies, ooh, is it beautiful? Yes, it's beautiful because it comes back as an 11. And if it dies in round 2, it comes back as a 14. Now that's pretty powerful. But wait, there's more. For free, if you combine it with a few other cards, you can get this all the way up to probably something closer like a 21 or something. I genuinely believe that you can get this incredibly high. It's gonna be fun seeing decks make use of that. I think some of these cards are gonna genuinely just be nerfed next week. There's holy, get here, like this boy, my man, just mean, like it's just like this. You know what's happening? Because I like the Note Guard deck shuffle, put stuff on top of your opponent's deck mechanic that's been introduced. Gatian is being put on top of all my card packs. That's why it's coming up so much. It's like, well, this is what you like, right? This is what you said you like. You like for a card to be, you know, useless cards to be put on top of decks. Oh, nice. We got all these, so we'll just grab the ugliest one, I guess. Like I just, like you just gotta wait a second to make sure it's not a premium. You know what I mean? You go click and you go, no, I don't see anything premium there. Okay, I think we have all the bronzes now. I will be surprised if we miss any bronzes now. All right, so this is pretty cool. We know about this, but this is pretty cool. At end of your turn, destroy this card if it's the only Witcher on this row. And it's 9 for 6. That I think is gonna work very well in Northern Realms. This is free high points for Northern Realms. Like, because they will always be able to have a Witcher on the field with some of the new Witcher students and adepts shenanigans they can get up to. So this is pretty cool, and I really like the art of this card as well. It's pretty funny. It's like, is he telling the cow to stand back? Like, cow, I got you, man. I got just. Well, this is a doomed cow. That's a, you know. Anyway. Or what if that's not a cow? That's a chord. Yeah, that's not even a cow. Oh no, there's a. You gotta wait that second, otherwise you miss those premiums. Damn. Oh, okay. This is not fair. I want the one I don't own, I guess. I misclicked. I'm being okay, guys. I'm sorry. This is because I want to see like the new stuff. I want to see the stuff like we've only got it in one location so far. We've only got it in one location, and okay, we'll take a look at that just now. This is really cool. Arch Griffin is probably one of my favorite cards right now. At the end of your turn, shuffle this back into your deck, keeping its boost. You can commit so hard in round 1 onto this card with all the boosts in the world. Let's say you put it behind a defender and you maybe give it Veil somehow. There's a neutral Veil. Yeah, there's a neutral. So you give it Veil and you commit so hard that you go, and especially if you're going second, you go all the way down to 0 cards. You make sure it survives. It goes back into your deck. The next time you draw it, you just win the game. It's gonna be so. This is such a cool card. I think this card lets you really just overcommit to any round when you have this in hand and a few boosts. Because if you can get this to, let's say, a 15, which Northern Realms can do, it becomes an incredible play. in any other round, and it potentially could even allow you to 2-0 an opponent. He's back. I should have counted like how many times we've gotten him. Okay, here we'll put the Brienne. I also should have counted how many different cards we've opened in terms of goals and stuff, to, you know, keep track of these things, make sure. Boom! We asked to see something incredible, and something incredible came in terms of Stega Castle, Salamander Hideout, and Snowdrop. Let's talk about all three quickly. In the castle, you're gonna play a Witcher. Order, move 3 allied units to the other row. Saving that for round 3 or a round 2 or a combo in a future round is insane. The fact you can also use it in the same round makes this card incredibly powerful. And I think that with everything else that Scoia'tale got, this is gonna see quite a bit of play. For 8 provision, moving 3 units and spawning a Witcher, you're gonna get more than 8 provision. Okay, then we move over to Salamander Hideout. You should actually do these. One of those. What's those shows that on MTV? They're like, check out my crib or whatever. It's like, check out my crib, guys. Welcome. This is the Salamander Hideout. I'm gonna show you all over the place. Alright, come in. Right here, we walk in. We have the lobby. Right on the left-hand side, we have the cage where we entrap all and bury all our failed experiments. So this is basically our catacombs. We're moving down the passageway. You can see on the left-hand side, we have all the salamander abominations are safely tucked away and caged. In case of emergencies, we do believe they can still be used for some kind of offensive capabilities, so we will keep them for now, just in case. Coming down here, you can see on the right hand side is our training field for the Salamander Mages. Very devoted bunches, really cool guys, really strong. And finally, we have at the end of the hallway, we have the Salamander Lackeys. These guys are just general servants and run around, and whenever, and they love payday. Whenever they get payday, they get really happy and they boost themselves up one. Alright, that's my crib, Salamander Hideout. Thank you very much. Peace out. So let's actually talk about this card. Alright, so spawn one of these and then move a poison from an ally to another unit. This is incredible as well. The fact that you can move a poison around to wherever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want it. If you play this in round 2, I mean even round 1, you can save it for round 2. Is really cool with all the stuff that Syndicate can do. So this is a really cool card. I love what it does. And I mean the order works for itself. So what you can do here is tribute, poison self by 1. You can play this, pay the tribute, poison self, and then use the order on the next turn to move the poison away if you don't have Adrenaline 4. And finally, Snowdrop. Draw 2 cards and shuffle 2 cards back into your deck whenever you draw a card. Boost up by 2. This is a broken card and will get nerfed to hell and back. This is going to... Oh, and Zeal. This card is genuinely stupid strong. Oh, you just get 2 cards. It gets boosted by 2. That makes it a 6 for 8. It's not that this card is so stupid strong. You're paying 1 provision. Just by the start of it, you're paying 1 provision to shuffle a card from your hand. You're paying 2 provision to do it 2 times with 2 garbage cards. And there are other cards, especially in some other factions, that can do shuffling of this kind of sort anyway by themselves. I'm talking about Nilfgaard with the fella who missed the consistency. Order cooldown 1, draw a card, put a card back into your deck. This card is so stupid broken. At 8 provision and 2 power, I don't know how they're gonna fix this without nerfing it to the ground. Genuinely just nerfing it to the ground. Like Zeal, the Zeal can't be here. This just the fact it's got 0, it's insane. It's already like a head start. The fact you can even play it before you play Mr. Consistency, then you play this, he triggers, makes it a 4. Even without Zeal, it could be broken. This needs to be a 1.12 provision card. I'm exaggerating, but for the consistency you're getting, and because of some other cards and some other factions that can do some things, this is stupid. Alright. Got that off my chest. Dumb card. This is not surviving. Which card are we picking? We're picking the dumb card. Alright, we're picking the dumb card. Let's... Okay, how many do I have left? I mean, like, I just noticed that we've been going for like 50 minutes. I don't even... Well, you know what? It's gonna tell me. Let's just check. I just want to check how many there's left. 7 left. Man, that went by pretty quickly. So I don't know what I think I'm gonna, like, maybe... I don't know if I want to record another 100 opening. What? Excuse me. Fallen Railer. Ma'am? Hello? Can I help you find something? Bandages. Did you cut your lip shaved? Bandages in aisle 3, ma'am. Please leave any valuables at security. Or Swords of Doom. Please, right there at security. Because she's in a mall, she's going shopping. How is she going shopping? Profit 3, Tribute 3, Gain Veil. Boom. You can play this. 5 power, 11 poison, visions, and it gains Veil. Tribute, Adrenaline 3. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Whenever you pay a tribute ability, boosts up at that tribute's cost. If you play this when you only have 4 cards and you pay the tribute, it's an 8-point Veil card. There are some really powerful tributes that Syndicate likes to play right at the end. Let's talk about Philippa. If you play this and you follow it up with just Philippa and literally nothing else ever again, you will get the 9 boost on top of the 8 that you got. Oh, even without the 8, doesn't matter, you get 17. Philippa will take a 9-point card, which is an 18-point difference. In one foul swoop, I guess it takes 2 cards. With Philippa, you're doing upwards of up to 30 points in value. I hate that I can't play Syndicate. I'm really bad at it because this is beautiful and it's dangerous and it's bonkers and I love it, and the fact that I got it in premium, it's all mine. I really, and plus let's just talk about Savola. And before you say, well, how are you gonna get 9 coins so quickly twice in a row? Oh, you can. With Syndicate now, you can get 9 coins in half a turn, let alone 1 turn, with some of the stupidity things they can do. Okay, why am I stuck on the screen? Let's get these kegs open. Ooh, oh, I'm like, we already have you. I don't need you again. Yeah. No premiums. Come on, I'm down to like my last few kegs. I think I'm gonna just open all of these as well after this. No. I don't like them just sitting there. They don't do anything. Plus, the fun fact is if I open most of the kegs now, because they are base set kegs or they're ultimate kegs, I'll probably open up a lot of these new cards as well. Is that it? Are we done? I don't know. It also does not know. Nobody knows. I think that's it. Wow. And that's it. That's the 100 kegs. Yeah, sure. That is it. 100 kegs have been opened. That is my collection. I didn't get pretty lucky, as you can see. I actually got a few here and there, but I missed out on some. I missed out on even seeing a lot of the cool new cards, but I did see quite a bit of collection. I'm just gonna go ahead and craft what I missed out on. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this 100 card card opening. Just 500 card 500 card opening. I should just label the video like that. Just like opening up 500 cards. Not 100 packs. We opened 500 cards. Alright, well, that's gonna be it. I am gonna try to get back into the habit of recording a bit more. So I want to do some constructed, I want to do some drafts, I want to check out the draft patch notes that just came out, so I really do want to get over that too. And yeah, until the next one, peace out, have fun.